So, you know that diet is the number one factor for increasing your testosterone. You know you'd like to improve yours, and it would probably double or triple your testosterone levels if you were to fix this. And it could happen relatively quickly, depends on your age, things like that. But so, what would you do, or what would I do more specifically, if I only had 24 hours to rapidly change my diet, or at least the diet plan that I was going to follow for the coming weeks and the coming months? So, if I was the typical guy, this is what I would do. I would be objective. This is the first thing. The first thing is to start tracking what you're currently doing. I'll get down a piece of paper, paper and pen, and I would write down what I had eaten the day before for breakfast, meal one, meal two, meal three. Literally write it down, including stuff that doesn't look good. So you've got to actually be honest with yourself here. I would write literally everything down. Ignore calories for now, because calories just cause confusion. Different apps say different things. Just write everything down, be objective. Then I would look for potential weak points. I mean, it's good to focus on your strong points, but if you want to improve something fast and have some drastic changes and some improvements, try and look at the weak points, because most people's weak points start with their breakfast. The very first thing they put in their mouths isn't ideal for testosterone or estradiol or SHBG or anything like that. So I'd just be really, really honest with yourself. Look at the snacks. The snacks are a huge one. Look at the lunch. Look at the evening foods. And then ask yourself which foods need to be removed or replaced. And then look at some things like, is there enough meat in there? Is there enough things like raw garlic, raw onion, just easy add-ons that can make things easier. Cruciferous veg if you need estrogen control. And I would then write down the ideal day of eating next to it. So perhaps it's eggs in the morning, maybe some kind of fatty fish in there, various meats, various veg later on in the day. And I'll get this written down on paper. Then, not in a hungry state, in a fed state, go online, do your online grocery shopping, and get the list of foods you've just written down for your ideal day. And it's really important that you write this stuff down, because I know from my past experience that when you're doing things, things become so ingrained and they become such strong habits, for better or for worse. You don't even realise you're doing them half the time. I was there spoon feeding myself shreddies every morning. I wasn't even questioning what I was doing. It's a horrible, horrible decision that kept me 17% body fat and low T. But I didn't even know I was doing it. It was just such a habit. It's all I'd ever done my entire life. Sometimes you're too close to the action, and it takes either another set of eyes, like a coach or something, to come in and have a look at what you're doing, or you have to, the next best thing is to write everything down and just zoom out and be objective, pretend you're someone else looking down at what you're doing. And I would go online, grocery shop, order those foods and nothing else, and write it down in your calendar exactly what you're going to be eating for every single meal going forward for the next 7 days. Test it out, see how you feel. Just having eggs and avocado first thing in the morning, I guarantee is going to make you feel better than whatever you're currently doing, if it's muesli or something. Or maybe it's eggs and a bit of salmon one morning, or eggs and Brazil nuts or something. Rotating it is actually a better idea than doing the same thing. Eggs and bacon is another one. Like, I'm giving you everything here. And order those foods in. But crucially, once you've ordered those foods and not all the other stuff, put it into the calendar and make sure you follow through. every morning, because it's the first day is going to be the hardest, because your instinct will tell you to keep doing whatever you're currently doing, and whatever you're currently doing isn't leading to 1,000 testosterone. So that's the problem we're trying to fix here. But if I had 24 hours, that's what I would do. I would get to work on it fast, and then implementing it over the next 7 days, and then maintaining that is where the real magic happens. That's where you really start moving towards 1,000 testosterone. Diet is the biggest factor. Sleep's huge as well. Diet's the biggest factor, assuming you're not an insomniac or you're doing some kind of physical activity and you get a little bit of sun. Just making those assumptions, diet's king. It's really that important. And you can turn it around really quickly. People just don't execute. That's the problem. So you've got to pull out all these steps to make sure that execution is easier to realistically happen in your life. You don't get distracted. But that's it for this video. I talk more about breakfasts in this video, the most anabolic breakfasts that you can possibly eat, the highest testosterone breakfast you can eat. You should do these 7 days a week rather than when you feel like it, if you want the best results. But I go into a lot more detail in this video. I give you a lot of secrets that I way more detail than I do on Twitter or Instagram or something. So definitely worth checking out this video. You'll like it, and I'll see you in that one.